Hello, guys. Welcome back to In the House Media House Call. This is your host, Michelle Diamond, and today we have an international guest hailing all the way from Burkina Faso, which is in West Africa, and this is Mr. Ben Nombre. And he is actually the CEO of Ad Media Technologies, and he is a huge advocate within the community. So we just want to take this time to welcome him to In the House Media House Call, and we're going to go right into the interview and just speak with Ben, get acclimated, and have Ben tell us a little bit about what he's doing within the community and what his his inspirations were to actually go ahead and proceed with all that he is advocating for, especially during the COVID-19. There was so much activity that I saw you, doing and speaking with you on Clubhouse. So I just want to say, keep up the great work. And it's a pleasure to be a part of something so amazing, especially the African, diaspora. And, it's something that's near and dear to my heart. And I just want to see this, come to full fruition, and we all work together to make it happen. So Ben, tell us a little bit about your background.
Okay, so thank you for giving me this night the opportunity to speak on your show. Thank you, Michelle.
You're more than
Uh,
welcome.
okay, alors, my name is Ben Nombre and I'm from Burkina Faso. It's the western of part of Africa, and I'm a CEO of Ad Media Technology, and I'm a founder of Sauve My Patrie. It mean save my home lane in English. So I travel through region to my of my country to promote living together, social cohesion, and resiliences. So that's about me. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So what is it about, social cohesiveness that is so near and dear to your heart? Because I see that this is something that you are truly an advocate for. What is the purpose, especially, back home? I know that you've traveled to Canada and all over, and you are all over, West Africa, not only in, Burkina Faso. You've done quite a bit throughout, especially, organizing your community organization now, and just making sure that everyone kind of comes together and make things happen. So what is it that motivated you to do that?
Okay. Firstly, when I traveled for Canada and I came back to my country, I saw my country, I saw my people, there was suffering. And I say, what can I do to contribute for my people? You know, that's the I don't know how to explain it. I saw my people who was very suffering, and I say, okay, I have to do something for my people. Okay, that's why I create my community organization. So first, I start to find out COVID-19,
Right.
so that I start to fight COVID-19 through the capital and making hand washing points, give soap to people
Wow.
to work the hands and sensitize the people and told them about the COVID-19. So I today I did like 30 markets that I'm why sorry
No, you're
no
fine. Take your
yeah.
time. We're all here.
Okay.
This is an absolute
Okay.
pleasure having you on, and, to cross and bridge over internationally. That is
Okay.
what, the media is for, and to ensure that we're getting, the coverage that is necessary, especially with your organization, and to
Yeah.
hear another voice of reason as to why it's so important to shine light on these areas that are in need. So take your time and don't feel rushed. We're here to listen and to
Okay.
motivate and help as the best way we can. Okay.
Okay. Okay. As I passionate volunteers in March 2019, I'm back. I'm back on raising awareness against COVID-19 through the capital by making hand washing points and pushing the soap made by imprisoned women.
Wow.
And yeah, I buy the soap from that women's. There are so many women that are in prison. So I'm going to buy the soap so that they will get money and use
Right.
on them. So I buy that. I buy that that soap to distribute to the people, and they will
Mm.
use to wash the hands inside the market.
Okay.
That's my first stance, and I do. And for what, with my synergy and my courage, I'm seeking to bring back smile to the face of the internally displaced person of my country.
Awesome.
And yeah, because there is too much internally displaced person in my country.
Right. I
Um,
saw that, which was the IDP, correct?
yes.
Right. Internally displaced person. And with that, I saw, as you mentioned, there are quite an abundance of women that are in prison, there in West Africa. And for you to, even support them by purchasing the soaps that are
Exactly.
necessary, especially during, the pandemic, to, even uplift the entire community as a whole, that is amazing in itself. So great job. And
Thank you.
like I
Thank
said, we're speaking now and with our groups on Clubhouse, and even to our viewers today that are listening, you know if it touches your heart to even reach out and assist, of course, this is the purpose of the platform, to bring the awareness to it, because the African, diaspora is more than just about African, because it is the world as a whole. It's intertwined with people from all over. So, it's a beautiful thing. So, if you are on
thank you.
Clubhouse, please join the group, and,
Thank you.
just come in and get enlightened and see how you too can play a part and be a
Yes.
sponsor or a supporter.
Yeah. You know, if you take like the women are too much, they're suffering inside the prison. They don't
Right,
have money. So I say, why do you want to buy a soap from a market? You can go to that prison and see that woman who can make a soap, and
right,
you can buy from them, give them the money they will use to buy maybe clothes or something like that.
right.
Okay. So I buy the soap from that woman, used to redistribute that soap to the people. That's why that's the first things I do when the COVID-19 came to my
Starting.
country.
Right. And with that, tell me, we're all referencing, the diaspora and the relevance and why it's important for us to merge together and give back. Tell me why it's near and dear to your heart.
Okay, there is too much things to say.
No, that's okay. We need that,
Yeah,
because this is important.
yeah. Let me let me finish the point of the internally displaced people in my country,
Okay.
because it's something that I have to talk. You know,
Yes.
um, that people they have been forced to leave their locality because of the terrorists,
Mm.
and I will do so by visiting the sites of the displaced people to distribute food, clothes, drinking water, and organize a community meals with these people in order to allow them to forget for a while the terror they have experienced. You understand what I mean?
Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
important for me to help them.
Correct.
Today they don't choose what they are living today. They don't choose. It's
Right.
not a choice. Okay, and they are suffering. The needs has to
To be
help them.
met. Right.
Yeah. We
There's
have to organize community meals and eat with them to tell them you are not alone. We are with you. So this is the vision of my community organization. So you see, today there's many people in diaspora. They want to come in Africa. They don't know how to do. There is many things inside the head. But I want to tell them that if you are black and you are living to another country, it's time for you to come back to your country, to your house. Africa is your house, is your home, and they need Africa. I mean, people in Africa, they are suffering. They need help from you people who are living in diaspora. So you have to come and use your mindset and use what like your knowledge to bring up this Africa.
right.
So I want to motivate all the diaspora people to come back to the Africa. It's time for us to come and like in French you say uh, take my hands and let's build the Africa. Yeah. So that's it.
Wow. And that's very, a very strong point. And, people, when we talk about the diaspora, you reference, coming back home, and, it's many people that are displaced, even if you were born in another country, your heritage, where it traces back to, talking about roots and culture. So, the conversations that we have about it, they are very intense, and you gain so much knowledge, and it's in abundance. And sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming because you have so much coming in at one time, but then taking the time out to process and do your own personal research as to why people are saying the things that they're saying, and why it's relevant for us to, even if we can't go back, or we have no bridge there, we still make a connection through networking and being able to help, as far as whether it be a monetary contribution, or just merging ideas together and sharing. It's a lot. There's a bartering system that's going on inside of the group on Clubhouse, and that's what's so amazing, especially when we heard you speak.
Yeah.
So that in itself is great. Even with Mr. What is his name? Deepak Manchinada, that's coming on after you this evening. We were all in the same group together,
Yeah.
actually. And, I know you're smiling because everybody's so
Yes.
familiar, even with Ben that led the group on Clubhouse. It,
Yeah.
it's just so, it's electrifying, the way that the movement is actually going right now, and I'm proud and honored to be a part of it, and just being able to utilize the platform to bring some awareness to it, because a lot of people here don't even know what's going on in West Africa, about internally displaced people, the displacement, what's
Exactly.
going on, and what it takes, and the struggle. And even with the pandemic itself, yes, everyone was hit hard, but then there are, other places, some that are underprivileged, that did not have the resources that were readily available to some. Like, yes, we're like, oh my
Exactly.
gosh, we're stranded, we're stuck. But there were so many out there that were, and I, I hate the word hate, but I'm going to say it. I hate that they had no choice,
They have no choice. That's it.
correct.
They have no choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
got right.
that's the part that it's very deep, and I feel that raising consciousness about certain things is absolutely necessary and
Yeah.
warranted at this time. um, so how far have you reached with the IDP movement?
What? Can you repeat, please?
Sure. How far have you reached with the IDP movement as far as, getting the assistance or the sponsorship that you needed for that program?
Okay. You know, I need like you want to say the help that I need. That's mean, or I'm not getting.
Okay.
I'm not getting well what you're saying.
Okay. So what I was asking is, you started this program, and Salve My Patrie, and
Exactly.
right, you saved my homeland, and
Yeah.
talking about the internally displaced and all of
Yeah.
that, and you saying that you're helping, creating, meals, sitting with them, letting them know that they're not alone. My
Exactly.
question is, and what I want to use my platform for your voice of reason to
Okay.
reach out to the viewers here, to let them know, what else is needed to help with getting this program even further than it has already gone.
Okay. So, well, the thing is that I'm used so my patrie. I'm doing with my uh, alone like this, and I don't have strength. And there is many people they are suffering. So right now, I need a help to help those people. I need a support to help those people. Um, their needs. There is sometimes I use that words like we are here to help, we are here to serve, and we have to serve people. We have
Correct.
to help them. They don't have choice. And me, so my party don't have like a lot of money to help those people. We want to do, but you used to do like to help like 300 people, but it's not enough because there are too much people who need our help. They don't have places to sleep. Even the rains fall, they don't have a place to sleep. And you see, they don't have meals. I mean, if people can help us to get a food, to get a meals, to give that people, I will say thank you. If people can give us knowledge or help us to get like to make a small house for them so that they will sleep and protect themselves. In Africa we have a mosquito. There is too much mosquito in Africa.
Right.
They kill too much people. And this the rain season, we have people who are suffering and who are dying for malaria.
Mm.
And there is they don't have medicine. They need help. They don't have it. So what I need is to call people to come together and help that people who are suffering and in this Africa. Malaria is killing people too much, and we have to help. We have to help.
Right. That's definitely true. You said it firmly and plainly. There's no other layman terms from that. The help is definitely needed, and it is sad that so many have suffered from so many things. It's when you think about it, and it's all over the world, but just to focus on the underserved or underprivileged areas,
Yeah.
you're thinking of hey, they're hit with the IDP, they're hit with COVID, and they're also hit with malaria. So it's like back to back issues piling on top of each other. And just imagine, what these people are going through and not knowing what the next day, next hour, next minute, or next second is going to be for them or what it means. So, if you're watching and, it moves you to give some assistance, I will have Mr. Nombre's information, the organization. It is a legit organization. You can research it, you could Google it. You could also Google him with Ad Media Technologies. He is a computer engineer, well versed in his craft, and he has strong backing on Clubhouse, following, and quite a few. There's some celebrities that are in the group that are definitely in the corner as well. So just to let you know that this is not something that is not legit or a fraud or anything of that nature, but this is something that is actually happening. If you are good with your Google, you can look it up, in West Africa, Burkina Faso, and see, the things that he's talking about, with the terrorism, see how the people are treated and, what they're going through at this time. And so,
Yeah.
whew,
And Michelle, I create like a goat farming. I create goat farming
are
to
you
find.
goat farming? Wow.
Yeah, I created GoFundMe. I can give you the link so that the people can help. Like even if you give $5, $10, it can help. You have to put in your mind that people need that $10 or that $5.
Right.
So I create this GoFundMe to collect some money and buy food, buy clothes, buy shoes, yeah, to give that internally display people. And I want to maybe I want to help. If I get strong, I will help. Like there is Mali. Do you know Mali? Do you know
Okay.
Mali?
Mali. No,
Yes.
not
Mali is a country. Is that country is front of my country,
okay.
Mali.
Mali. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so that people too, they are suffering. And what I want with the Solve My Pathway is to become a big community organization who can go to through in Africa to help them because it's time for me to help my people. It's time for me to help Africa. I don't know how to explain it, but
Oh, you're doing a fine job doing so. Uh, don't feel that you're not. What you came
yeah,
to express, it is, being heard, that there is a need and, the n- necessity is there, especially for, those that are underprivileged. We have a lot of terrorism going on and people are without homes and,
yeah.
not by choice. It's
And
because they're
it's not
trying
by
to save their
choice.
lives.
Yeah, and we don't have to wait for the government. We don't have to wait for the government in Africa. So because the government don't want to take care about that people, we have to tell it because, and I don't know why, but we have to notice that the government don't want to take care about that people is now for the young people in Africa or African black person or I don't know a black if you want black woman black man they
Right.
have to come and help that black person who live in Africa
Right.
and
Right.
forget about the government.
Yeah, it's there's some similarities, and I know that certain areas, of course, feel it a little bit harsher, as far as the support you get, when it comes to black businesses or anything having to deal with black people as a whole. So the voice of reason throughout the pandemic and even prior to that was Black Lives Matter, and talking about supporting black businesses, and this is something that we all need to pull together. It's not just within the United States, it's worldwide,
Exactly.
because if we all pull together, we're definitely stronger.
Yeah,
you
it's
know
true.
so
And
tell me a little bit. We talked about IDP, we talked about the diaspora, and we talked about your organization, Save Ma Patrie, which if you guys are just tapping in or popping in and out, it means save my homeland in English. And a little bit more about you per se. How did you and your family cope during the pandemic?
okay, about me,
Right.
yeah, like I'm in the pandemic in Africa we have to say that God help us first. God help us, and you can see. there is no too much people who are dying from that pandemic called COVID-19. And I used to tell people to protect themselves. We don't have to take that pandemic like a joke. It's not a
Right.
joke. People are dying. So me myself, I'm used to protect every time my family and protect myself.
Okay.
Yeah. So and I used to sensitize to people to protect themselves. In Africa, if they don't have food, even food, and you say protect
Mhm.
yourself for the pandemic, they will not hear you because they will say, "Oh, we don't have food. You are talking about pandemic." You see, that's the problem that we get here. So that's it.
Wow. Well, I mean, at least, they had someone that, had a stronghold and said, listen, you guys have to listen and take heed and not take it as a joke. And, with you being as active as you are in the community and going out there and, you know, creating these hand washing stations and, purchasing the soaps from the women that are in prison, that's, taking an initiative and, helping people to understand that this is definitely something that should not be taken lightly, and you did your part. You made the huge contribution there, so definitely commendable. And
Thank you.
tell us, other than the diaspora and IDP and Save Ma Patrie, what else do you have in the making? What else are you working on? Because we know that you have Ad Media Technologies. What else do you have working on besides those multitude of things that you have under your belt right now?
Uh, the things I have right now, I don't understand what you say.
No, I was saying that you have all these things that you're working on,
Yeah.
consecutively, cohesively as a
Yeah.
whole. What else do you have planned or mapped out for the future? What is the long term vision or
Okay.
goal?
Okay. First, I am a CEO of Ad Media Technology.
Right.
I decide to create it because like I'm expert to first I have a background. I'm a computer engineer, so that's why I start to do it because I like to I like entrepreneurship. You know, um, when I create uh, um, ad media technology, I say if somebody come to ask about I made apps for people. I made apps, website, everything's for people. And when you pay a apps from ad media technology, I use that money, I share the money and go to give to my community. First things I do, which solve
Right.
my pattern. I share my money from ad media technology and give to solve my pathway to help people first. And so today, what um, um, I don't know for the future. For the future, I want to travel through the Africa with Sauve Ma Patrie, go educate small children, the young children, give
Right.
them help because you have to notice that we are poor in education. Africa is very poor in education. They don't have education. They don't have some of the people that they never go to school because they don't have money to pay the bills. There is too much things, and I want to use Solve My Patrie to build maybe a school for the young children, and they will not pay like a big money to get educated, and
Mm,
I will make that school free for them. That's my future. I want to
that's
make a
awesome.
school to give them the knowledge to build that Africa because Africa needs. And we have a young people in Africa, and they don't have too much knowledge to use and make better Africa. So
Right. Okay,
yeah,
and that's good. So, the long-term goals and visions that you have, basically to recap for the viewers, is to ensure that you can travel throughout Africa and,
exactly.
educate others, and
Yeah,
especially targeting the younger ones, the children, and
yeah,
helping as far as education goes, because as you said, education system is on the lacking side. It's not as you know great as it is in most countries. So this is something that's also necessary and needed, is to help out with the education. And I know that there are you know groups and churches that
yeah,
sometimes sponsor and come over and contribute their time, as far as education goes, and even with the health supplies and things of that nature. So what I'm going to do, I know my aunt, she is very active with that, and the group that I'm with, Impact Jamaica, we're actually not only focusing on impact in Jamaica, or impact is globally. That's
exactly.
just the name because of how it initiated, and that's something that I will definitely bring to the board, and we will have a discussion about that, and see how we can, you know, possibly, work with you in regards to
Yeah,
the education and the IDP, especially since that is, one of the things that's pretty much near and dear to our hearts, because right now, you know, the group, we're building, a portable shower for the homeless
okay.
here in Atlanta, to give them, means of being able to take a shower, when they need it. And
Yeah,
we have other plans up our sleeves as well. So, kudos to you on that also. We'll definitely get that done. And to the viewers, if this is something, if you're in the educational realm or field, and this is something that you would like to help out with, as far as even if it's books that you no longer use or need, or even if it's your time, 30 minutes, via, we have modern technology now. We could set up a Zoom call, or they have the
hey,
WhatsApp,
yes.
and
What?
utilize that time and contribute that way. you know we can definitely have you reach out to Ben and get him the help that is needed.
Yeah, it will be a real pleasure for me to be in that group. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's amazing.
I really appreciate from you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's so much going on in the world. If we don't,
You, you
pull
know, you,
together, then who else is going to do it? We can't wait for the next person to say, "Hey, let's, jump
yeah,
on board." You know,
you know something, Michelle. Uh, one of the things too is to if you see all my pictures with some of my pastry and with the women's. Why women's? In
right,
Africa, they are most, which is they are suffering more than the men.
right.
Yeah, they don't have a job like man. They don't of like they are only suffering. They have to go and no, they have many things to. I don't know how to explain it. They are just suffering,
You're
and me,
explaining it just fine because you have me tearing up over here.
and me, for me, we have to help more women's. We have to help more women's and
Women
the young.
empowerment. Yes, women
Yes,
empowerment is needed. Yeah,
they
because
don't have. They are not strong,
right,
and they need us. So that's why if you see all my pictures, I'm with the women's.
right,
We need to help them. They don't have strength. They are
right.
very vulnerable.
Yeah. And even when I did my research on, Burkina Faso, um, you do see a lot of the pictures that populate are focused on the women and the children,
Yeah.
so I totally get it. I saw some of the pictures that, if you could see, like, I'm not sure if the viewers or you could see, my eyes are puffy because, prior to coming on, I was tearing up as well because of some of the images that I saw. And, I could just imagine, even when anyway, talking to you about the IDP,
Yeah.
it really chokes you up because you really don't know how much you have and how much you take for granted until you see, the conditions that others have to, endure. And just be grateful for the things that you have. Like, I say that every day. You have to be grateful regardless of the circumstances, because the next person, may be going through it 10 times worse than you are.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that has me choked up right now. And, excuse me, but it's definitely, viewers, you are tapping in. You could look it up. It's Burkina Faso. It's spelled Burkina, Faso, Faso, and that is in West Africa. You could look up the IDP. It's all the information is there. So, to give some aid to Mr. Nombre and his organization. Again, it is the Salve Ma Patrie, which means save my homeland. And it's such a beautiful saying because it's definitely necessary. And, you can see that it's something that is actually legit. And, the help is definitely needed. So,
Yeah.
Ben, you could let them know how to contact you via Instagram or your Facebook or via your email.
Okay. If you want to contact me, you can via Instagram. You can just type Ben Nombre. Okay, Ben Nombre, and or you can type like Solve My Patrie on Instagram. You can find it on Instagram. You
Yes.
can find it on LinkedIn. You can find it on Facebook. So you just type Solve My Patrie. Solve My Patrie. It does mean save my
Homeland.
homeland.
Yes.
So you just type and you find me. If you go to LinkedIn, you just type my name, Ben Nombre, and you will find me. You will see everything that's about me. Yeah,
Yes.
my story and everything. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's an amazing story. We definitely appreciate you and all that you're doing for the community. You're an
Yes.
amazing person and just so compassionate, about everything that you're doing. And, advocacy is a huge thing, especially when you're believing something. And, for you to, have traveled outside of the US and, still
Yeah.
return home and, dedicate your time, to those that are less fortunate. It's definitely amazing. It's a moving, story. It needs to be heard. And I'm grateful that tapped in with me on,
Yeah.
Clubhouse and again, on
Yeah.
Instagram.
It will be a real pleasure for me. There is something they say sometimes alone we go fast. That's true. But together we go far.
Yes, I love that.
Alone you can go fast. That's true. But together we can go far, far. Yeah.
So true. So true. And, you always say, I'm not sure if I'm expressing it properly. And as we told you on Clubhouse, and I'm telling you again, you did an amazing job. I
Thank you.
love your accents and,
Thank you.
you do well explaining the need and, the cause of what's going on in your country. And,
Yeah.
it's more than just you know, a West Africa issue. It's actually, a worldwide issue because there's so many that are displaced and people don't understand that. So thank
Exactly.
you for shedding some light on that for us. And, to get in touch with him if you would like to be a part, if it's, he's not only asking for monetary, he's accepting all forms of donations. It can be package, soap, clothing, whatever. The need is there. They need meals, they need clothing, all of the above. If you have knowledge on helping him, build, the homes, we'd have to research where exactly he would give us that information on how we can construct certain things because of course every place is different, needs to be able to make it work for that specific area. So that's a part of the issue. And education wise, if you are in the school system, or have old books that you no longer need and you'd like to contribute it, he's looking to start a school to help those that don't have education, and especially starting with the younger ones. If you want to volunteer your time, you can do so, in helping to educate or teach these young ones as well. And he would definitely appreciate it, and I'm quite sure that the people that you're helping will also appreciate it. So you can contact Ben on Instagram. He is Ben Nunbre.
Yeah.
His name is Nombre with an M, but on Instagram, of course, you know how Instagram is, sometimes it's taken, so it's with an N, so it's Nunbre. And of course, Save Mapatri is Sauve, Ma, as in Ma, Patri,
Yes. Yeah,
Patri.
you get a good pronunciation.
Thank you. I look, I do try, and he is on LinkedIn. He's on Facebook. He's a credible source. You can Google all this information about the IDP, which is the internally displaced people. It's something that's rampant right now in West Africa. You could look up the issue on malaria. You guys are all aware of it, so it's not as though he's telling you something that is not valid. The need is there. And if you want to be a part of the campaign to help, then reach out to us here at In the House Media. If you're not sure or did not get the information that's needed for Ben, he's welcome in the house.
Yeah.
Mr. Well, I'm not gonna say Mr. Dr. Jerome. I always do that. Dr. Jerome Dorn, he has ties also over in Ghana, and that's something that's near and dear to his heart as well. I have
Wow.
family members, from Mozambique area, and Sierra
Nice.
Leone, and so yes, exactly. So we have ties. So we
Okay.
definitely want to make sure that we're giving back, and we have knowledge of what's going on and what's
Yeah.
needed. So please reach out to us at In-House Media. As you see, we are growing together in love, meaning that together with brotherly love, because Dr. Dorn is from Philadelphia and he believes in brotherly love. We uplift and we build with each other. Once we welcome you in the house, all we ask you to do is pay it forward. So this is what we're doing. We're paying it forward. And Mr. Ben Nombre is officially a part of our team, and we're going to make sure that he too gets the help that he needs, and vice versa. And we're just going to keep on expanding and building, because In the House Media is a global movement.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
appreciate you so much, Ben
Thank you.
Nombre, for coming on
Thank
with
you.
us on In the House Media House Call. We
Yeah.
appreciate you being so transparent with
Yeah.
everything that's going on there. And thank you again. And
Yeah.
this is Michelle Diamond with In.
Yeah.